Hi and welcome to the video training of JavaScript. In this video training we will be looking at some killer tips. This is part 2 of the 3-part video series and you will learn and enjoy. The first killer tip we are going to see is to generate random hex numbers. You can generate random hex colors with math.random or pad int properties. So it's a one-liner function, random hex, and it's using math library of JavaScript math.floor property, and it is receiving math.random multiplying by the hex code to string and padding 6. So it will generate a random hex color. So let's see this in action. You can download this hex the source code from the GitHub repository, which I'm going to share in the YouTube video, so don't worry about that. Let's focus on what we have here. So if I go to console and I refresh the page, you see I got the hex number, random hex number. Now it's different every time I hit this URL. So this is tip number 1. Let's move on to tip 2. Remove duplicated from array. You can easily remove duplicates with set in JavaScript. It's a lifesaver. So we have a one-liner function called remove duplicates, and it receives an array and passes it through the set object. So here we have the code. So I'm going to uncomment it and let's run it in the browser. You see we have a unique array, and if I add more here, like 3 7s, there should be 1 7. You see. So this is killer tip number 2. Killer tip number 3 is to get query params from URL. You can easily retrieve query params from a URL either by passing window.location or the raw URL google.com. Search easy page 3, and this is the code here. So if I uncomment tip number 3 here, and I refresh the page, so error URL split is not a function. URL or split is not a function. I think this is due to different versions of the JavaScript, so we can skip this tip here. Let's move on to tip 4. Okay, tip 4 is log time for date. We can log time in the format hour, minute, seconds from a given date. So this is a one-liner function, time from date, and it's basically converting date to time. So if I uncomment this function here, tip number 4 right here, yeah, and I refresh the page, we get the time here, 5:30. Okay, and let's move on to tip number 5. Check if a number is even or odd. This is a simple one-liner function, const is even, and it's checking the mod of number with 2. If it's equal to 0, then it's an even number. So here is tip number 5, one-liner function. Save the file, and if I refresh the page, it says true. So if I 20,000 says true, but if I enter an odd number, it's false. So it's a one-liner function. It's tip number 5. Let's move on to tip number 6, which is the last one in this video. Find average of numbers. It's a one-liner function, const average, and it's using reduce function by AB and adding them both and dividing it by the length of the array. So if I uncomment this function here, average, and call the average function, refresh the page. Okay, I have to console.log here to see the results in the browser console tab. So we have 2.5. If I add 6 here, we have 3.2. So this is the one-liner function average, which gives you the average of numbers. Thanks for watching this video. Please do subscribe to my channel if you liked this video. You can reach me if you need any assistance. I'll be more than happy to reply back. Thank you very much.